want to talk about 4 archetypes that we people tend to use to resist our own plans. We get in our own way by embodying these 4 archetypes. Hi, I'm Angel. Thanks for stopping by, and let's just jump into it. The 4 archetypes that I see and that I recognize in myself as things I embody that then hold me back or get in my way are the victim, the confused flake, the judge, critic, and the martyr. Of course, these are just names. But the ideas I think all of us can relate to. So, starting with the victim, this is one that I am all too familiar with. I think it goes way back to my infancy. I've started developing this pattern. I didn't really come to recognize it until fairly recently, in the last couple years, and I'm still learning to train myself out of it and shift, find new modes of being. But the more, as I've started paying attention, I've started to be able to recognize when I'm going down a negative thought loop that then creates the chemistry in my body that then makes me feel bad, that then keeps me from doing the things that I say I want to do or that I do want to do. It keeps me from being my best full self, my full potential, and instead keeps me limited. So, and I see this in people all around me all the time. And these days with social media, it's hard to log on without running into just dozens of examples of people talking or typing about what happened to them, what went wrong, why somebody did something to me, and that's why I couldn't get there on time, or that's why I couldn't finish my goal because this wasn't right, or this person said something and sent me down a loop, or my daddy didn't love me. All those are just victim states of mind, trains of thought, which hold us back from reaching our greatest true potential, which is my goal here on this channel, by the way, to encourage you and me to always be reaching for our greatest, most playful, joyful potential. And these archetypes really hold us back. For me, the victim archetype is one that I see in myself frequently, or that I've learned to recognize frequently, that I'm really trying to uproot, or more accurately, dissolve, transmute, change into something better. So that's number 1. Number 2, the confused flake. This is one that I recognize in myself often as well, although I'm probably a little less keyed into it, which means maybe I'm using it even more. I don't know. Thinking I don't understand something, or just feeling overwhelmed by too much information is a state of mind that then just shuts down that forward momentum. Again, keeping me from my best potential, keeping me from my greatest state. A clue to, if you're using, or a clue for me when I'm using these archetypes is if I'm using an I am statement and then following it by some limiting belief, basically, like I am unlovable. It's a good victim statement. Or I am incapable of understanding this because it's beyond me. That's a good confused flake. Or I'm just late all the time. I can't seem to be on time. Those things are all confused flake archetype kind of statements. I bet you may have used 1 or 2 of them yourself, and that's the point. That's what makes it an archetype, is it's kind of these things that humans, storylines that we repeat. Now there's positive archetypes like the hero, and the hero's the only one that came to mind. The lover, the parent, those are all really potentially really positive archetypes. However, the victim and the confused flake, or the fool, or the other 2, the martyr or the judge, are not usually very helpful. There's a cool bird up there. Anyway, number 3, the martyr. I'm not sure if I got these in the right order. They're in no particular order, really. The martyr. This is one I am real familiar with my whole life. And right now my son has grown up, and so it really was a profound realization when he graduated from high school and moved out, and I felt this kind of weight lifted, and also this scary lack of sense of purpose that created a new weight, really. And in examining that, I've realized that I tend to use other people and all people at large as an excuse for not reaching for my greatest potential sometimes. And I think this is a common archetypical thing that we humans do, where we say, well, I would like to live in a different place, but I have to take care of my mother. Or I would like to have a different job, but I have to take care of my children. Those are that kind of martyr archetype, which is really just excuses that keep us from reaching for our greatest potential and achieving our greatest dreams. So again, if you find yourself, I think maybe I've just noticed in my statements that a key little phrase, a little clue that you may be using that archetype is I would, but. If you find yourself saying I would, but, I got to take care of this business. I would, but people are relying on me. It's great if that's true, but the thing is, if you're using that as an excuse to not do the things you say you want to do, or to not reach for your greatest potential, then that's really BS, and it's really just that age-old archetype that you're tapping into, embodying, and using as an excuse not to reach your greatest self. Number 4, without further ado, the judge, the critic. This is another one that I use frequently, get in my own way. I'm often judgmental and critical of myself, and that gets in the way. I go like, I'm not doing my best, or I'm too fat, or I'm too talkative, or also I use it, we use it with regards to other people. So somebody might have a great idea or a suggestion or be able to help, but we go, I don't want to accept that person's help because I don't like their religion, or I don't like their way they dress, or whatever it is. We make up all kinds of excuses that are judgmental or critical of ourselves and others, that again are just ways of keeping ourselves back, ways of keeping ourselves from reaching our fullest potential. I'd love to know what you think of those. Is there one of those that resonates with you, or do all of them resonate with you? Do you have any clues to share about like statements that clue you in to when you're embodying any of those archetypes? Do you have more to add that you can think of? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments. And as always, you can find ways to connect to me and support me in the description. Let's sum up, shall we, real quick. The 4 archetypes of resistance which keep us from reaching for our greatest potential are victim. They're not the 4, they are 4 of. Victim, the fool or the confused flake, the judge or the critic, and the martyr, or the person who has to do things for other people, so must self-sacrifice. Those are all very common. I see them all the time in myself and in others, and I encourage you to just be on the lookout for them. Kind of notice, are you using those archetypes as excuses for not reaching for your greatest, fullest, most joyful, playful potential? And if so, do you want to stop it? I know I do. Until next time, I wish you peace, prosperity, positivity, potential, love, lightheartedness,